Right, okay, so welcome back to another video, and if you're watching this, you're probably watching this because Beesmas is literally for like a month and a week away by my correct calculations now, or like, I don't know, like a month and a week and a day, or whatever. God knows what on its schedule is going to be like, but in this video, I should be going through all of my sort of like theories to what Beesmas could hold and when it could come out and, why it's going to happen, because obviously there's been no official confirmation so far, but in this video I'll go through everything that we currently know and what we'll probably end up knowing in the next few weeks, so yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm assuming that everybody is aware about this now, but basically Onnit has this sort of secret but not so secret testing game that he uses for himself called Buzz, and when he works on Beesmas, whether it be like a content update or literally just adding console support, as I'll get onto in a bit, he'll basically just test it in there, see how it works, and when it's ready for further testing, he'll put it either in the private test round or the public test round. And as you can see by the screenshots on the screen, you can see that Onnit has updated Buzz here, and here, and here, and just all these other times over the past few weeks, so sort of leading out of October but into November as well. So yeah, what this could mean is that like he's actively working on something. So obviously we don't know what this something could be, and there is a gummy sprout real quick, so let me go get that. Alright, yeah, I think I'm a bit late for this, but yeah, as I was saying, Onnit has been updating Buzz like numerous times over the past like 2 or 3 weeks or so, and my theory as to why this is happening like is can literally only be Beesmas or something to do with like a Christmas update or something, because who on earth would keep updating their personal testing game at this time of the year, especially when you got a Christmas update which you're sort of known for every single year, and not be working on anything? It would be a bit stupid if Onnit like definitely knew he didn't want to update anything in Beesmas, add nothing new, yet spend so much time in the testing game. And actually, when I was gathering the information for this video, as you can see by the screenshot, Onnit was actually in studio, so literally constantly he is working on something, and I guess the rest of the video would be literally about what this could be. So right now there's no like official like leaks recently, but there's a lot of stuff from the past we can talk about that hasn't been implemented yet, but there's a good chance it could happen this year. One of these leaks is probably the most realistic for this Beastmas, in my opinion, whether it be in part 1 or part 2, is the new coconut belt that is going to be introduced into the game. So Onnit has not actually said too much about this in specific, but there are around like 3 messages or so that I can like say because that's what we have. So first of all, he says, I'll try to start testing the cocoa belt soon. It is almost ready for testing, but I'll have to push this stuff out. But he's talking about Beastmas part 2 here from like this year, at the end of March, I know. At first, since the time is running out, so back here he is talking about adding it to Beastmas part 2, so obviously it didn't occur then, and he wanted to start testing it afterwards, and I guess the foundations were set in place for him to like push on for an update when he did add the new quests, but like to get the digital bee, I guess, if I'm right, or the, oh yeah, the Robo Bear. That's I'm correct. Okay, so my theory to this could be in terms of what this belt could be like. So I have killed the coconut crab earlier, and I'm gonna quickly head over to the shop real quick. Now, if we look in here, we can see we have the coconut clogs for 10 billion honey, and close the chat. 150 coconuts, 50 tropical drinks, 100 glue, and 100 oil, as well as the honey. And if we head up to the coconut canister, it actually has the passives from like this incorporated into it really. So without the coconut canister, the coconut clogs aren't the best in the game because, for example, you'll need like the inspire coconut shields, or like inspire coconuts, the coconut shield. That is very useful for activating the coconut haze. So in a way, if we look at this, the coconut canister is almost like the coconut clogs but upgraded. So my theory is that I guess the coconut bell could create like finish the trinity of like the coconut gear, and it could be more expensive, so maybe around 100 billion, even upwards of that, and even more coconuts, tropical drinks, maybe even an upgrade on extracts, so possibly super smoothies in the recipe. So if you were going to prepare for this, I'd definitely get a bunch of super smoothies, a bunch of tropical drinks, a bunch of coconuts, because that is what you're going to need. And I do believe recently Onnit did actually upgrade the amount of coconuts you can have in your inventory around a couple of years ago. So as you can see, you can hold more of these now, which could be an excuse for him to make the recipe more. And while I'm here, I'll claim some coconuts I cannot take because I'm already at max capacity. Yeah, so that's what I had to say for that bit, my theory around it. He also did say that, like, before this, he reworked coconuts a bit to account for the coconut belt passive. So that basically does confirm, like, there is some form of plan for it, and there will be a passive, so... And the fact that he has had to rework coconuts does suggest the fact that there could be some changes with the other passives, literally just because of the way they work with coconuts. Like, let's head over to the coconut canister, like, we have the Inspire Coconuts, which drops a bunch of coconuts. We have the... What else do we have? The Coconut Shield, which drops coconuts. And the Coconut Clogs, we also have the Coconut Haste, which is primarily fixed by coconuts. So, alongside this, not only would this actually be a new belt, but it would have a huge effect, potentially, on the gear we already have in the game. This next point I'm still going to mention anyway, but my feelings towards this are actually pretty mixed, considering whether it will actually happen or not. I'm going to talk about it anyway. So around 2 years ago, Onyx did mention that the plan for Beesmas Part 2, around like the 2021 to 2022 Beesmas, the plan was to add some new sprinklers and bags to the game, which would essentially act as like an Engage bag. So like how we have the Tie Popper, the Dark Scythe, and the Gummy Baller, we would have the same variant but in bags, which I think is really cool, and sprinklers as well, which would be interesting to see how it's upgraded on the Supreme Sprinkler, because the Supreme Sprinkler is actually a very solid sprinkler for its price. So he first of all goes on to say that sprinklers and bags, I already know in general what they will do. I sketched them out and planned them at the same time as the collectors. These collectors, as I just said, he's referencing the ones that I'm holding right now. He also says that he has like a bag and a sprinkler designed for all 3 colours, and he obviously couldn't finish it by Christmas last year, nor could he do it by Beesmas Part 2. Okay, so it's going to look like I'm going to get the rewards this time, and there's a honey storm at the same time, so it is kind of chaotic, and while I do this, I'm going to discuss what you could potentially do to prepare for this, like new bags and sprinklers if they do come out, because to be honest, it's a bit up in the air right now, as I just said, whether like it will actually happen or not, but if it does happen, I think we should expect it to be slightly more than the tools, but I wouldn't say by too much, because my judgment on that is based off the fact that if you look at the Petal Wand, which was the best tool in the game for the best part of, what, like 2 years, and you got the Coconut Canister, which, again, is currently the best bag in the game still, there is a decent amount of difference in the materials applied for it, although I do believe, like, I guess the coconuts, the tropical drinks are a bit less intense than some of the requirements for the Petal Wand, and I'm not going to do the Stick Bug because I want to make it to this video. Okay, so yeah, so judging by that, I reckon there could be a bit of a price rise in the bags and the sprinklers compared to what you actually need from the tools, although I don't expect this to be as big potentially as like how like proportionally bigger the coconut canister does cost in like honey and like I guess like ingredients compared to the Petal Wand. And although this sprinkler here is 55 billion, it doesn't require any ingredients. I guess that does kind of make up for it. I mean, if you count in the badged ingredients, you technically could, but I wouldn't necessarily do so. But yeah, like next up, I'm gonna start talking about like what we just general Beesmas content, which will be quite straightforward. So yeah, let's talk about that. Right, so as previously mentioned, when I was talking about how Onnit mainly focused on the Robo Bear last year, every year Onnit tends to have like a main focus of Beesmas that's not really Christmas related and is supposed to be like in the game permanently. So as I just said, last year we had Robo Bear, the year before that was the new Mythics and Dapper Bear, although he didn't really have any quests till last year, apart from the Beesmas quest. So there's a good chance this year that the best part of the update will literally just be like whatever the main thing is, so as I just said, the bags or something. However, obviously, because it is Beesmas, there will be some Beesmas content, and personally, I wouldn't expect too much change from last year, because he does usually keep the same stuff, so if I were you, I'd probably watch out for the gingerbread house, so we obviously like pay for like God knows how long and get like a gazillion gingerbread bears the next morning. Or obviously there's the Beastmas tree where you put your ornaments on over here, and you get your buffs for the whole event, which does like linger on for quite a long time though, so the buffs do work all year round, like that's what it feels like at least, so I guess the Beastmas buffs are quite nice now because they actually have some form of long-term use, like due to on its update schedule. And also, we should expect the Bear catalog. So basically, if you're struggling with like a diamond egg or something for the diamond mask, you can head over to the catalog, maybe have a look at some of the bundles, get some ingredients you need, and by with gingerbread bears and snowflakes, etc. And also these snowflakes will be another key component as well as a probably very difficult quest from this guy over here, Honeybee, and the BBM up there, which I don't even want to talk about because I've never actually finished any of his quests, so yeah, let's move on from that. So in order to wrap this video up, I just want to talk about some smaller pieces of information which aren't necessarily all related to the game in itself, but I think has a genuine reason to be talked about in this video. So you probably have already seen this, but a few days ago, like a week ago, I don't know, time has been quite distorted right now for me, but in the Beesmas Leaks Discord, I got a notification essentially just saying that on it was at some convention or something, and he was presented with a bunch of plushies, and as you can see in the background, it was some quite like decorative like art, I guess, with like the lights and the plushies. And talking of the plushies, what I wanted to talk about was, as you can see, there is a new Crimson and Cobalt plushie. It looks like a Poppy Bee plushie, if I'm right. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head, but you'll see the images on screen now. As you can see, you got on it in real life, actually, like for real. In the picture, with obviously the beat of light behind him, which does raise the question that potentially on it does want to sort of keep Beesman relevant with these plushies and that, and as a way of fueling this, he might like put potentially, you know, some more out there and interesting ideas into the updates. I don't know, that's a very sort of in-depth idea, and I might get disconnected here because, yep, okay. Okay, I'm back, so let's claim this hive. So I was a little bit sort of like not sure what to say there. Essentially, I was saying that obviously if on it is adding like new plushies and that, there could be some reason to sort of like promote this in game, whether it be literally just through a code, or even like a mini sort of update to like boost the sales and that, so we can make more money or something. I don't know. I can't really see into on its economic mind, so you'd have to put that question to him, to be honest. And alongside that, he actually did add another person to his studio, as you can see on the screen now. So on it essentially has the studio group on Roblox where the people he has worked on with Beesmas before, a very limited number of people by the way, so as you can see there's Nert who, if you don't know him, he designed a bunch of like the 3D models for these planters and that. So literally, if you've been in the Dapper Bear shop, you've probably seen like the Planter Plenty, you've probably seen the Tacky Planter, etc. And I believe those 3D models, some of those were done by Nert, and he has added someone else to the group, which I do believe is the admin in the Beesmas Discord. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't go in there that much anymore. I just don't think it's the best place to chat, to be honest, compared to my Discord server, which you should definitely join. Link will be on the card in the top right hand corner now. Definitely check it out. There's so much you can do there. You can find sprout parties where you can like donate a few sprouts, and okay, let's just say you put 5 sprouts in, you can probably get about 30 or 40 or 50, I don't know how many sprouts out. It's a really good way of maximizing your materials and getting the most out of Bee Swarm, saving you some time and giving yourself valuable resources, which I would really recommend, just generally. And also, there's other fun things you can do with quite active chats at the moment, which will only increase with Beesmas. As well, we do have all the leaks posted to our server from the official Beesmas Leaks Discord, shout out to them. As well as their bot that does like post when buzz updates come out, as you probably saw earlier on in the video. There's so much more I could talk about, like literally the eliminations where you vote out something from Beesmas each day. I can't really waffle on for too much longer about that, but that's what I really have to say about that. So finally, to wrap up this video, I guess all I can really talk about now is when we could expect Beesmas, and I guess that's what a lot of you would come for. So I can't really put an exact date on this, but I can sort of do my prediction. So if I remember right, in 2018, it came like a week before Christmas on like December the 18th, but there was like a lot less content in Beesmas and compared to what we're getting now, because it was more of a side update when Beesmas was like updated more regularly. 2019, I believe it got updated on the 22nd or the 23rd, so a couple of days or so before Christmas to get into Beesmas, maybe use the code that was there back then, isn't available now by the way. And then 2020, it came out quite early UK time on Christmas morning, where he just about got it done with the bee quips and everything. And 2021, same thing, I believe, on Christmas Day, if I'm right, around in the afternoonish. I can't exactly remember like date, like time for time. And I remember last year's the worst time in terms of timing, which eventually came out on like Boxing Day. So if Beesmas like goes by my theories this shit on what could be in it, probably expect it around Christmas Day, Christmas Eve at the very earliest, because in my opinion, I reckon it'll be quite similar to 2021 in terms of potentially, like, you know, some new equipment and that would take, you know, fair play on it. Like, when he does spend all this time in studio trying to get it out in time, you know, it's much appreciated. So, if I was you, literally just get ready for Beesmas now, and I can make a video on that if you want me to. Do comment below if you want that. So, if I was you, expect it around Christmas Eve very late, or Christmas Day, depending on where you are, to be honest. So, you've got plenty of time, like, to prepare. I mean, it's 17th of November as I'm recording this, and my predicted date of Christmas Day is, like, as I said at the start of the video, like, a year and... No, not a year, like, a month and a week and a day away. So you've got plenty of time to prepare for that. Apart from that, do join my Discord server, subscribe to the channel, and you can join my subreddit now, which I'll talk about more in a later video, because I don't want to waste too much of your time. But apart from that, do have a good day, and goodbye.